Hello, this is PiedraLuna with this week's collective reading on regards to the influences we have of the planets, of the life lessons, the tarot cards, along with as I said, the planetary influences of this week are guiding us to overcome or the things that we are, or the matters that we are collectively thinking about. For this week, we have, of course, we're in the Gemini season because it is so of course, we have the influence of Mercury, Gemini being a sign that has a tendency to, or what they have to overcome in this life is to make decisions, to be able to feel secure about the decisions they make. Because and we can be feeling kind of like that influence, all of us, on regards to one day wanting one thing, and then the other day no, we say we want the opposite, and going from one side to another, which is not a bad thing. I mean, that just means that we're not secure about what we're deciding about, and that we need to find a connection to one of the options that really resonates with us and makes sense. So that means, what does that mean? That we have to know ourselves and our deepest desires, and also our weaknesses, in order to make better decisions. And that is one of the challenges of the people for born under the influence of Gemini, who are born in June, or those as well that have an ascendant or a moon in Gemini. You can check that by going on Google and checking what is your birth chart, as long as you know the time at which you were born. I have an ascendant in Gemini, and I'm a Sagittarius, and I have a moon in Libra. So I really do know what it means to be to go from one side to another in regards to decisions. I know exactly the feeling. But right now, I think it is collective, because it's a collective influence for all of us. So we're going through that feeling. We have the moon right now, like this, starting this week, is on Taurus. The moon is about our emotions, and Taurus is usually a sign that likes to keep their emotions to themselves. So we could be feeling that, like we're going within and we're evaluating our emotions, and we're not too readily in regards to sharing our deepest feelings. We also have, well, of course, Mercury is on Gemini and it's on retrograde. And what does it mean that it's on retrograde? It means that we're evaluating our decisions in life. We're evaluating how we make decisions as well. So basically, a retrograde is like going back or doing a revision of what's going on right now in our lives. We have Mars in Cancer. Mars is a doer, of course. It's the card of the Emperor, like right here, and it's about the Emperor is about having dominion over your kingdom, and your kingdom is your life, right? From your body to your house to your work life, to what how you dedicate your days, how you dedicate your energy. We're all going. It does feel like, and of course, because of the season, I was talking to a friend who was very enlightening to tell me why are people. Because I'm an empath, so I feel the energy of people around me, and not only I feel it, I can read it, I can see it. It's sometimes it's overwhelming. Of course, it's a blessing and a curse. But I have he did tell me something very important, and that's that when the end of the month approaches, especially now during the pandemic, people are more stressed than before, because we're all thinking about what we need to pay. And after the 30th, then we have to face the reality of what we actually were able to pay and what we were not. So of course, there's a lot of time of tension, especially for most people. I mean, even people that are rich are being affected by the economy. Everybody's been affected by the pandemic. So we're of course meditating on regards to. Or not meditating, we go to that stress of how we would want life to be and what it is, and where we will feel real joy. And this is what the cards are telling me as well. And as I'm sorry, I divagated a little bit there with work. But if you've been feeling like a heavy negative energy, if you feel it before the 30th and you feel it a bit after the 30th, and you don't know where it comes from, maybe your finances were pretty great during that month and you didn't have any problems, you might be feeling the collective energy of the people around you who had trouble meeting their ends meet, right? Because we're going through tough times. So we have Mars in Cancer. When Mars is in Cancer, that's a time when people are looking for security in the home and family. Mars in Cancer also is the card of the Ten of Cups. So that means when the Emperor, or like the person is in charge, is ready to be vulnerable and to make a family or to start a business, that's when you will see the influence of Mars in Cancer. So we could be seeing people that are thinking about, like the reading before, we still have that influence of who do we want to spend our life with, and that includes our family members, that includes our soul tribe, our friends, but it could also mean who we want to make a life with in a romantic sense, that we have more of our mind into that, because of that influence of Mars in Cancer, because Cancer is about family, it's about relationships, it's about the things that we hold dear to our heart. We also have Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is the happy-go-lucky sign. It brings with it great luck, and it's in Pisces season. So on the sign of Pisces. So what does that mean? That means that we could see more charity in our life, like strikes of luck, like the universe getting on our side and giving us that second wing that we needed. So it's a very lucky time it's a favorable time in regards to that sense with the influence of Jupiter. And also, it's also not only what we receive, but what we give, because of course that anything we put out there is going to come back to us. That's a universal law, right? So if you see anybody who's struggling, especially as I said, because of the end of the month, if you see anybody struggling, your neighbor, your friend, and you can help them out a bit, and you had some extra money and extra bonus from your salary or whatever, maybe you can share something from your pantry, or maybe you don't have anything physical to give, but you might have your time to give to someone you know is going through a hard time and they just need someone to listen. That Jupiter in Pisces is about that philanthropic and being heartful, and it's an energy a bit of like Christ-like energy of being good to your brothers and your sisters and helping them out and being kind in whatever that you see that you can be helpful. And not that we have to see life like that, but you would see that whatever you put out there is going to come back to you in triple amount. We also have Saturn in Aquarius, but that's going to be there for a while, and that's in retrograde. So we could be feeling a bit of turmoil or conflict between the authority, between establishment, between laws, between the way our job works. If we work in a company, we might have quarrels with our bosses because they are used to doing things one way, the old-fashioned way, and you want to implement something new. So that might be something that is felt. And that started since last year on March 2020. So that's going to be the topic in general of a breaking of a paradigm of how we used to do life and how we're doing life after the pandemic, and an eye-opener that we can do life in a different way than what we've been doing. Like, for example, everybody now, or a lot of people, are working from home, when before it was such a hard for most companies didn't like their employees to work at home because they thought they were going to be responsible, that they were not going to do their job, that people need and that's the mentality of like father and child, that you don't trust your child. It's a very like a relationship between father and son or daughters, of about the structure of I am the authority and I only like to do things this way because only this way it's been successful so far. And so we could see maybe a struggle of that, and we've been seeing it of people. I think I mentioned it on the last video as well, not wanting to return to the work life, to the office, to seeing the work life as a sometimes even as a prison. Like, how do you want to spend the rest of your days? I mean, yes, nowadays most of us can, or a lot of us, if our work is online, of course, if you have a physical work, you have to go to wherever it's performed to do it. But the rest of us who been office workers, now we have the possibility to be from home and to create a life that we like more than before, and not to feel constrained about having to be in the office all the time. And of course, it has taken a lot of employees to understand that it works well when you treat your employees like adults, right? When you're not trying to put a relationship of father and son into it. And I think that's also a topic, and I think it's collective for most of us. We've been going meditating on regards to our relationship with our parents, and how that relationship, somehow we take it to the workplace as well. I see sometimes in co-workers from all the jobs, I have different jobs, office jobs that I've had, that depending on the authority level that they had in their home, that's how much authority they will accept from the workplace as well. Now, of course, authority and structure is necessary. I never go into any extremes in life. No rules at all, and everything goes mayhem. Too many rules, and it's too constrictive to the soul. We need just enough rules so that we live in harmony and that things work smoothly. And as I say, and well, as it is said, the proof is in the pudding. So if you can do things in a different way and you still are getting better results or getting great results, then that means it works out. And that's what I'm feeling here. Also, with the position of the planets, there's a need or a feel to do things differently. And to finish with the planetary influence before I go to the reading, and this is just to give you like the context of why the cards are giving us this information. It's so interesting and cool to see how it has a reflection of the planetary influences. We have Neptune and Pisces, and that is also about, that has an influence of how can we do things more heartfully, how can we do things more soulfully, also about being philanthropic, but also about being compassionate to our own selves as well. And that has to do a lot in how we spend our times in the workplace. I think that a lot of people are feeling as well the need to change. We have the North Node right now is in Gemini, and the North Node means the things that we come to this life to resolve, or the lesson or the obstacle that we here to overcome. So that means, as I said, making good decisions, knowing yourself well in order to be able to make good decisions, knowing how to calm yourself so you're not jumping from one decision to another, in case you're feeling like that during this week. And the South Node is in Sagittarius. South Node is what we already learn on past lives. And that means what we learn is philosophy. We have the knowledge. We already have our philosophy of life, or that feels more structure, at least for most of us. And so the North Node is what we overcome, Sagittarius and Gemini, and I have the influence of both. So it could be this could be like a turning point for people that have that kind of influence on their birth chart. Me being on the Sagittarius sign and Gemini being my ascendant, it is a time to put into fruition that which you've learned so far. So if that resonates with you, if that's what it feels for you for this week, here's what the reading, I'm going to go into this reading for the collective influences that we have and what the cards are showing me. So indeed, it does show here with the Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles, and this deck is the Wizards Tarot deck by Barbara Moore. It's brand new. Well, I think it came out last year. It's pretty cool. I love it. Has very magical, has a great resonance. I'll put a link below to my wish list on Amazon, and you can purchase it from there. Just make sure you purchase it for yourself and you don't send it to my address. So the Five of Pentacles is about having a harsh time economically or emotionally, about going through conflicts. And the Magician is a card is a manifester. He has all the tools. He knows how to change things. He's the one that has the network. He puts his ideas and his passions he manifests them into something concrete. So what we are going through right now is we're meditating how we come out of the difficult times, be it, as I said, financial or emotional, or in the workplace that is making us feel maybe miserable. Could be the message for some of you. We are really, really putting our minds and our energy right now, and this is a great time to do that, on how we can transform our situation. How can we manifest something better? And as I said, we have the influence of the South Node, which is what we already know. So how do we put our knowledge, what we know so far, what we learned so far, our experience in the workplace, our experience in life, how do we put it into making better decisions for ourselves to have a better life? The cards are also telling me that the key to, sorry for the barking, the key to getting to that place is, I'm gonna have to cut this part. Shh, 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 shh. There's probably pigeons outside. The key to this, we have here the Page of Cups. This is a beautiful Page of Cups. Page of Cups is about finding, well, as well, and with the Emperor, if because the influence here is about, mostly the message is about how to make our coin and how to live a better life. And of course, our work is what takes most of our, or where we get our money is what takes most of our lives, right? And for some people, they only live to work. So we're evaluating that. Is that the life that we want to have? And in order to get to that, to understand where we'll be happy, first we have to find what makes us happy, what inspires us, what makes our heart stick, what makes us feel overjoyed, what kind of work, what kind of line, what kind of production, what is it that we really love, how can we put together something that we feel it's an inspiring situation, along with something that would be a successful business, right? Because it's not only the just having dreams and passions and illusions. So yes, I would love to do that. This is like the card of I would love to do that, and this is the card of being the emperor of a company, of your enterprise, or even moving up in your workplace. It's about of having dominion and control over yourself and over the things that you create, and your assets, and those as well are soft skills as well, right? Because those are very important assets in life. So we're trying to marry our what we would love to something that would really work in real life, right? And we have, with the influence specifically, I would say, of the cards of Jupiter and Pisces, we have right now a great planetary influence to exactly be able to get there, because we have the Six of Wands, this is a bit of a weird card for the Six of Wands, but it's supposed to, especially with the head, I think this is like it's very reminiscent of Harry Potter and when they killed Voldemort. It's about, and everybody here is celebrating because he killed the bad guy. So it's about success and celebration. And the bad guy could be whatever is feeling like a chain around your neck, whatever is taking away your happiness, whatever is making you feel like life is not worth it. That is what we need to overcome. And right now we have great influence of Jupiter and Pisces, which are that they're the energy of the miracle, of Christ-like miracles, of miracles from angels, from God, from the light, from source, from the heart, from the good things. And we have a chance, we have a good position of the planets, of the star. The star is about hope, of really overcoming and being successful at what we put our heart into, as long as, of course, we have the discipline of that Mars, as I said, is ruled by, or the Emperor card is ruled by Mars, or by Taurus. Well, it has a lot of Taurus and Mars. It has a lot of, and Taurus also as well is about being concrete. I mean, a king does not build his kingdom in one day. It takes him a long time, and it takes him a lot of discipline. The emperor is not a scatter guy. He's not like, he doesn't change his mind from one day to another. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to be king. He's very stable, very grounded, very knowledgeable. He knows how everything works on his system. But the most important thing is that he has discipline, and of course, he's got a great mind for business. So we are probably going through that process of, we're investigating how can we use the knowledge we have already to make a better life for ourselves. And as I said, with the planetary positions, we have a great chance of doing that. Exactly, of being victorious, of the push. This is also a time of rebirth as well. We have the new moon. When is that? I think the new moon is on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. If not, well, you can check when the new moon is. And we also have an eclipse again. So it's time also to release the old notions of the things that no longer serve us, and to bring forth new ideas and new replenish and new paths, new ways of doing things, and maybe even new enterprises. And that could also be like new relationships of people that are going to be very valuable in your life, or it can also be romantic relationships. Now, the caution here, I did get a caution, and we get the caution of the Four of, now we're going to go this way. The caution of the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a guy who's, if you can check him, he's bored to hell. Like, he's got all these books, but he's not reading anything. As you can see, the cobwebs, the spider webs. He's got a lot of cups, but he's like disenchanted with life. And he's got like these cups, they look empty, while this one looks like it's holding a nice shiny thing. But because he's in this mode of, oh yeah, life sucks, everything's gonna be terrible, nothing works out for me, if something good comes my way, it just goes to shit. This is the energy we have to fight, because we might have this influence as well when we're like all very happy and that we can create something new, and all of a sudden we have the bummer card. Like, you are bummed out, and then you say, no, maybe I'm gonna fail. This is the card of, yeah, maybe if anything good comes for me, it's gonna fail, especially if it comes after these cards. And then I have the Devil card, and the Devil is about the things that keep us chained. Can be our vices, it can be drug addictions, it can be toxic relationships, so many things that are, whatever is not good for you and is keeping you in chains, because that's what the devil energy is about, is something that is controlling you, and that is taking away your energy, basically, and is making you feel stuck. So it's very important to overcome this energy, to have this tendency, to break free from this tendency to be negative, to think that everything's going to go. Just drop it, because nobody is able to win a battle if they're already defeating themselves before even starting. So that's very important, and you must have the strength to overcome that. Here we have the Strength card, pretty nice and cool Strength card. She's dealing with a dragon, and with tenderness, with softness, with compassion, she's taming the lion. Now, there's also a passage in the Bible from Joshua, from Jesus, which I find it, I once I read it, I loved it. And then I'm probably going to misquote it, but it says how important it is to transform the lion inside and to make it human, and not to let the lion inside eat the human. And what does that mean? Don't let the animal side of you, and by the animal, like the beast, more as a lion will devour everything, and just wouldn't think much into devouring things around them, because they always feel threatened. So it's important to get to know yourself, to control your inner beast, to control your the weak points you have. And we all have, if we don't get to know ourselves, if we don't get to the truth of ourselves, we're not really going to progress in life, because then everything is going to trigger us, and we're going to be and probably in this mode of, oh, and this is like, yeah, everything goes bad for me, the negative mode. Of course, if you think like that, you're not even seeing the good things, the good opportunities, and that's called common sense, right? If you're stuck in this energy, everything's negative for me, then you're not going to see the opportunities. And as I said, no one wins a battle by defeating themselves before they even start the battle. So that's very important, that you have the strength to conquer that, to conquer your inner demons, to know which are your inner demons. For some people, it might be a tendency to have depression, a tendency to be negative, a tendency to be angry, any low vibration energy, right? And that doesn't mean we all have those energies, but it's important. And it's not like, oh yeah, I hate something or I'm angry at something, then I'm not in the light, I'm not a good person. No, that's not true. I mean, all the emotions have a reason why they're there for us to, they're a reaction to the things around us. And in that sense, I don't agree much with only with that side of Buddhism that says it's a complete unattachment from everything, and you shouldn't feel angry about injustice or happy about happiness. I think you are basically dead if you're not having all sorts of emotions as a human. But it's important that they do not control you. They should have a place in your life. All emotions should have a place. If you're feeling depressed, what does that mean? Well, it could mean, of course, that you have a chemical imbalance. And if that is the case, if you already tried everything else to uplift your energy and to change the way you're thinking, and it hasn't helped, and you've really tried hard for a long time, then it might mean that you need to see a psychiatrist, and you might have an imbalance, a chemical imbalance, and there's absolutely no shame in that. Of course, not that I'm saying one should look for the easy way out, and just if you're feeling sad, instead of dealing with your life, you just take a pill. That's an extreme. I, of course, I mean, how are you even going to progress in life if you're feeling angry? Then sit down with your anger. And of course, don't explode it on anybody else, but sit down with your anger and see, why am I angry? What is making me angry? And that way you get to free yourself, and you get to be a better person for those around you, and a better person for yourself as well. So also the energy here is, we're gonna have, probably because it's Gemini season, I mean, yes, of course, we're gonna have options, lots of options that we are thinking about, how, like this girl is looking here at the potions, thinking about which one she should choose. And in other cards is about also, it's a man looking at 7 cups with different things, from jewels to a pretty lady to a castle to something that is hidden to a dragon. There's different things that the 7 of Pentacles shows. And it, oh, this is a this is not the 7 of Cups, sorry, 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, no, sorry, let me take that back. What I meant to say with the 7 of Pentacles, which is how to grow, to invest in growing an enterprise. In order for us, well, that this is with the line that we were going, in order for us to be able to build something and to collect the fruits of our labor, we have to get out of that, have the strength to get out of that pessimistic mentality that could have an influence this week, in order for us to go forward in life, to move to calmer waters. This is a lady that, if you look at the girl, it seems they're leaving probably like an abusive partner or something like that. So that the card usually means to move from turmoil waters to calmer waters. So indeed, if we want to do that, then we must not let the beast inside ourselves be our worst enemy, that keeps us stuck and tells us that we're not good enough to change our lives, and we should just stick to what we know. And then we have the 8 of Wands, along with the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Now, this is a great combination of cards. And it depends on where the energy is going. We're, of course, here with the energy. Give me 1 second. The 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is about messages. It's about putting things forward. It's not only about receiving messages, but this is also about sending out messages. So this, if you're in the line, or if you're in the thought of how to build a business, of course, well, networking is going to be, and marketing. If you don't do that, if you don't get yourself known, then of course nothing's going to work. So this is also the energy of moving forward to calmer waters, starting to really plant the seeds of what you want to collect, and to put the word out there that this is what you're doing, this is your business, or at least start do the connections, start do the networking, because during this time, during this, at least the influence of this week, and it could be for several weeks, we have the influence of a great positive influence of the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And this is usually in a card of romance. Is about people that are in the workplace. The Knight of Cups is someone who is like our godfather or our godmother, but the real ones, the one that really care about you, right? Not the aunt or the uncle that you never see, but the ones that really care for you, like that family member that's always checking in on your emotions, and if you're ever in trouble, they're there to help you. It could also be a friend as well that always has your back. This is like love that is really shown. Like, of course, the Knight of Cups, depending on the other cards, could be just that you have a feeling and like a Don Quixote kind of energy, like you're a bit of too much fantasy or illusionment. But in this case, with this combination, is that you have someone who has your back, who really cares about you, and that is probably going to be very helpful in you achieving your goals. This is also an energy of being enamored, finding your, what are you enamored of, what are you in love with, and putting that into a business, and putting your heart as a business, and saying, okay, I'm starting this business, like with us in the marketing, or telling other people and doing your network, and this could also be even from starting your website, from starting a channel, from doing a business from your own home. But it's letting the world know that you have this passion for this and you really love it. And or as well, it could be that you're going to get this network, someone who's going to have your back and it's going to take you a step forward into where you want to get. And also as well, this could be an energy of miracles in your life. This is probably a week where we might receive a good news about, and then the things that make you feel like, sorry if I'm stumbling a bit. I'm going to blame it on Mercury retrograde, which hinders a bit communication, because we're going back and forth and on our thoughts and what we're going to say. It's also about the universe having our back. Is about there being a positive energy in the environment for good things to happen, for things to align, especially this is a time also of, we have Pluto in retrograde, and it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is also about money. It's about it's about business. Usually people who have or Capricorn, or they have a Capricorn influence, they have a big interest on that's not what they're all about, but they're good. Their business mind, like they have a mentality of business, like how to make business with everything, basically. Not in a bad way, but like that's the way you build up any business. If you really want to build a business, you need to embrace a Capricorn energy of having all your corners checked, of knowing how much you are investing, how much money you're getting back, what should be the right price, and of course, in a sense, that's the only way to have a company. I mean, you can have a company just out of full heart and no logic and reason, and keeping your accounting proper, right? So that's also very important. Not only the about having this illusion and passion for something that you want to do, that you already have the knowledge, and you know you can transform it into a better way of life for you, a better coin for you, or a more better balance between your work life and your job, your life, your being, I don't know, doing the things that you love, the things that I think we're all as I know I am. We're meditating, and I mentioned this before in other readings. We're meditating now with the pandemic, how we want to spend the rest of our lives, how we want to work smarter and not harder. And there's nothing wrong in working harder, but when you look back into your life and you see that all you've done is work for somebody else and make a coin for somebody else, and that you miss so much time with your family, you miss seeing your kids grow up, you miss that hobby that you love to do because you're exhausted by the weekend. I think we're all in that sense thinking, how do we marry being happy and fulfilled and bringing a coin to our home and being there present for our families. So that's also the energy that we have here. And as I said, well, the key points are, just to make a summary, we are in that sense trying to manifest a better life for ourselves. We want to overcome the things that are feeling us like we're in lack. We have to remember that there's a marrying of what makes us, that what is going to bring the fish to the table has to do a lot with what we have passion with. And because of the influence of the planets, that also means putting into use the experience we've had from other jobs, from other things we've done, to become the emperor ourselves, to bring about our own kingdom. And that right now we have a good chance of achieving that because of the influence of the Six of Wands and the Star. It's a very there's an energy of miraculous situations, of things aligning in our, like getting karma rewards, getting karma points, or brownie points in karma, in a way, from the things that we did well, right? So we get kind of like a reward during this time. But also very important too, that we are going to have a challenge of at some point during the week or during these weeks of going into that negative mindset of being pessimistic. And that is the challenge to overcome. That's the chain to overcome, to not be slaved and stagnant, and not be able to get our business into fruition. That we must have that strength to control our own inner selves, to control the beast inside. And each of us, we have different beasts, and we know we should at least we should do the exercise of knowing what are our weak points in order for us to be really able to start working. Because if you're in a pessimistic mode, you're never going to start to plant anything. So it's important to have that strength to overcome ourselves and to have the discipline, because being the emperor takes a lot of discipline, and discipline is what is needed. We need to marry our passion with discipline. And what better way, especially for those people, me included, that have problems with having discipline on things that are for like on your own initiative. It's probably the only way you can overcome that is if you're doing something that you really love, and then you are going to have the discipline to keep going, and to put the energy and the work day in and day out, right? And that's the way we can really move from to calmer waters, from the situation that is probably bringing us down, that is making us feel in lack, and to finally start putting out the word out there that this is our new baby, that we have a new baby, and it could be for some people the birth of it could be the rebirth of your life, it could be the rebirth of the way you work, or it could be the birth of a company, it could be the birth of an idea. It doesn't necessarily mean something you have to do by yourself. It could be something that you do with associates, and there's an energy of either the universe being on your side and helping you out and things to align, or it could also be as well the universe working through people that love you. And also this could also mean for others during this week that you're gonna have a message from someone that really cares for you, family member or romantic. It could be maybe someone telling you how they feel about you. And that could also be part of the energy, because we have the influence of Mars in Cancer. And as I said, that is the energy of the 10 of Cups, which is when you decide that you're going to put your emotion, the emotions you have for somebody, into something solid to make a life with that person. And a commitment, that's the key here. Commitment, committing to something where your heart is. either being your business, either being your way of life that you want to have, or it being a relationship, or even making a family with someone. I hope that was of help, and I send you lots of blessings.